Crimes of the Heart? She introduced herself to the world as Hilary Baldwin, a yoga instructor, bilingual wellness advocate, and wife of actor Alec Baldwin. But the truth is, she was born Hilary Lynn Hayward-Thomas in Boston, Massachusetts. And the name change was just the beginning of a series of misrepresentations that would eventually unravel in public view. Hilary grew up in a wealthy and educated family. Her mother, Kathryn Hayward, was a physician affiliated with Harvard Medical School. Her father, David Thomas Jr., was an attorney with a degree in Spanish literature. She had every academic and cultural opportunity afforded to her. She attended private schools and was involved in ballet and yoga from a young age. She also has a brother named Jeremy. Hilary Baldwin's parents, Kathryn Hayward and David Thomas Jr., moved to Spain in 2011. At that time, Hilary was 27 years old, having graduated from the Cambridge School of Weston in 2002 and later from New York University. She had already been using the name Hilaria for several years, even before her parents' relocation. So, her parents moved to Mallorca, Spain, not during her childhood, but later in life. Despite this, Hilary began to publicly portray herself as a native Spanish speaker, often implying she had grown up in Spain. She sometimes spoke with an accent. In multiple interviews, she referred to Spain as her home and described her upbringing in ways that blurred the line between fact and fantasy. Then came the infamous cucumber interview. While appearing on the Today Show, she paused mid-sentence and asked, seemingly innocently, "How you say, cucumber?" The moment went viral, and not in a good way. People who had known her in Massachusetts were stunned. She was a native English speaker. Her accent wasn't real. And that pause? Many saw it as the performance of someone trying to be something they were not. Then the big question everyone was asking. Did she even lie to Alec about this? Did he really think she was from Spain? He has been recorded saying, several times, "My wife is from Spain." Whether or not Alec Baldwin knew the full truth about Hilary's background remains unclear. He defended her publicly, implying that the backlash was based on misunderstandings. However, in earlier interviews, Alec referred to her as Spanish, and their wedding included Spanish customs, suggesting he may have believed the identity she presented. It's possible he knew she was born in Boston but accepted the exaggerated connection to Spain. Spiritually speaking, this shows how deception, even unintentional, can affect relationships when they aren't built on truth. Proverbs 10 verse 9 reminds us, "Whoever walks in integrity walks securely, but whoever takes crooked paths will be found out." In late 2020, this all boiled over. Social media users and journalists began piecing together the truth. Hilary was not Spanish. She hadn't grown up there. Her name wasn't even Hilaria. Her Spanish accent was inconsistent, and public records confirmed what critics suspected: this wasn't cultural connection. This was a carefully constructed persona. When confronted, she admitted to being born in Boston and said that she had spent time in Spain during her childhood. She explained the accent away as the result of code switching. But for many, it was too late. The trust was broken. The narrative didn't add up. But what's really going on here? Why would someone raised in privilege, with a good education and every advantage, feel the need to fabricate a new identity? From a biblical perspective, the answer often lies not in the facts, but in the heart. Proverbs 16 verse 18 warns us, "Pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall." When pride enters, it twists truth. It clouds reality. And often, it's rooted in insecurity. The enemy, Satan, doesn't always attack through violence or chaos. Sometimes, he uses subtle lies. Whispers. Justifications. You're not enough. You need a better story. They'll love you more if you're someone else. These are the spiritual schemes that lead to deception, not just of others, but of ourselves. The Bible tells us in John 8 verse 44 that the devil is the father of lies. And when we entertain lies, we open ourselves to a kind of identity theft, not just socially, but spiritually. Hilary may not be a criminal, but her story is still a cautionary tale. Not about accents, or fame, or even social media, but about truth. Who we are when no one is watching. Who we pretend to be when we feel we're not enough. Who we become when we reject the truth God speaks over us. Imagine how different things might have been if Hilary had been taught her true value, rooted not in performance, but in purpose. Not in creating an identity, but receiving one from the one who made her. Ephesians 6 verse 11 tells us to put on the full armor of God, so that you can stand against the schemes of the devil. That includes the schemes of pride, comparison, and people-pleasing. What would her life look like if she had embraced her real name, her real voice, and her real story? Maybe she'd still be known for health and wellness, but in a deeper sense, the wellness of a whole and honest soul. Maybe instead of headlines and mockery, she'd be quietly influencing others from a place of authenticity and grace. As a Christ follower, the only thing you need to be known for is your love. Jesus said in John 13 verse 35, "By this everyone will know that you are my disciples, if you love one another." It's not your platform, performance, knowledge, or success, it's your love. Love that reflects Jesus. Love that forgives, serves, speaks truth, and sacrifices. Love that isn't self-seeking, but points back to the one who first loved us. That's what truly sets you apart. The Bible says in Proverbs 12 verse 22, "The Lord detests lying lips, but he delights in people who are trustworthy." Let that be the takeaway. Truth matters. Authenticity matters. And when we build our lives on lies, no matter how charming or creative, they eventually collapse. But when we build on truth, we become unshakable. If you found this story eye-opening, share it with someone who needs to be reminded, your real story, flaws and all, is enough. You don't need to invent who you are. You just need to let God define you. Because He already has.